But we will be dads, one way or another, eventually.
You're already a daddy.
You're older than me.
And?
What is up, you guys? It's Taylor and
Jeff.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Welcome.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
We left you hanging. This is our first intro to our first YouTube video in 8 months.
Yeah.
A lot of things have been going on in our personal lives, our work lives.
I think we're here just to give an update.
Yeah.
On all things.
On all things. So let's start and just catch up a little bit. So I have a little list because I actually got Invisalign today, and I'm trying to be diligent about wearing it, so I didn't want to take it out. So
Good boy.
yes, that was different. So where to begin? What's going on?
Why don't we start with the last video that we posted?
The last video we posted was us sort of announcing, not even announcing, it was us going in to do our sperm donation for our IVF process, which we've been doing for about a year plus at this point. Really a year, but more so like 2+ years.
Yeah.
That video, oh God, there's literally so much to cover.
I know.
So we're doing IVF. We've announced that. The last video we posted was us going to our clinic to do our sperm donation because our egg donor on September 4th went in for her
Wedding anniversary.
For her egg retrieval, and we wanted to get there as soon as possible to fertilize those eggs fresh and see where that got us. And we were very excited. We're still excited.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that was going on in that process that we just were like not super prepared for. Mostly mentally.
So I guess when we posted that video and when we announced that we were doing IVF and, we're growing our family, we felt really confident and we felt like we were in a good place to announce that because of where we were at.
At that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since then, we have some updates that neither of us really anticipated,
Yeah.
which is very normal and part of the process. Nothing is guaranteed going through the IVF process, and I guess we saw that side of things.
Yeah, so to give you, from where we left off, we'll start there. So on September 4th, our egg donor went in for her egg retrieval, and she was able to, with the doctors, retrieve 26 eggs.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is really good. When you're doing the IVF process, the egg donation portion process is checked up on days 1, 3, and 5. So on day 1, we got 26 eggs. We were able to fertilize 22.
Amazing. 11
of mine, 11 of Jeff's, 22 of ours. And then, so that was day 1. Day 3, so the process from days 1 to 5 is just to see how the eggs grow and turn into ideally happy, healthy embryos. So on day 3, we went from 22 eggs to 15.
Good.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Great.
we were still feeling really solid. Naively, we did not anticipate any bumps.
Yes.
We had one bump already. We had lost our egg donor, our initial egg donor, due to a cyst on her ovary, and so we sort of had to restart that process. So that was in our minds at that time, that was our
bump.
Okay,
so when we last posted that video, I guess we just didn't know that there were more bumps to come.
Yeah, we just had to take a break and watch what we've shared.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at day 5. We get 5 embryos back. On day 5, whatever embryos grew to day 5, they go into a process of genetic testing. So they genetically test all of the embryos to see which ones are genetically sound and are most likely to make it to a birth. So of those 5, already scary because your odds are not guaranteed. The funnel. Of those 5, we got 2 back. we actually got 2 plus 1 unknown, and that third one was so small that they didn't want to genetically test it, because if they went into the embryo and took out too much DNA
to test it,
it wouldn't be a viable option at all. So I guess technically we have 3. 2 are known to be genetically sound, healthy embryos.
yeah.
So that's where we're at. We have 2 embryos.
Which is exciting, and we're grateful for those 2 embryos, but, you know, there's still so many bumps that could come throughout this process that, you know, just because you have a healthy embryo doesn't mean it's going to result in a healthy, successful pregnancy.
Right.
The surrogate still needs to actually get pregnant and pee on the stick and test pregnant. You know, when you only have like 2 shots at that, in our ideal world, we want 2 kids.
Right.
So we need the success rate to be 100% twice,
Right.
which is, who knows? It certainly can happen. It certainly cannot. We could get 1, we could get 0. And I think, you know, we just needed to take some time and process that ourselves, because it is such an expensive process, and we feel extremely fortunate and privileged that we can even go through this process, but it's certainly not something that we can do multiple times.
Right.
So it was really stressful, and we were really disappointed and upset.
And that's, so there was the disappointment of not getting what we wanted, and then there's the financial stressor that goes on top of that. So we were like just spiraling. Like we just were not feeling good about it. It's not that, and that's another reason that we sort of took some time off from here, because like Jeff said, we are so privileged and so fortunate and so lucky to be able to afford this process, to be able to do this at all. So to come online and talk about how disappointed we were and how sad we were and how much money we spent, it
felt out of touch.
Yeah, it felt out of touch, but like in reality, that is how we were feeling. And maybe I'm biased, but I feel like those feelings are valid. Like that, unfortunately, if you are thinking about going through IVF or have gone through it, you probably know what we're talking about. It's just a lot of uncertainty, and it's really expensive uncertainty, and it's really emotional uncertainty, because we're talking about our future and our future children and what our life could look like and will look like.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a lot. It was just a lot. We were not, it's not that we weren't happy, we were just sad.
Yeah, and when you give away that much money and go through the processes to, you know, we're actively making all of these decisions financially and family planning and all of these things to do something, when you don't get the result that you are expecting, it hurts like twice as bad.
Yeah.
And, you know, we spent a few months playing the hypothetical game, which...
What happens if...
What happens if? Like, what happens if only one of the embryos take, but we want 2 kids? Then we need to hope that our egg donor agrees to do another egg retrieval
Which
round.
by that point, maybe she's too old, sadly. Like
maybe she doesn't want to do it.
Right.
Maybe she has a family of her own. Maybe...
anything.
Maybe how important is it to us that our 2 kids have the same genetic mother? Like, there's just so much hypotheticals that could happen that we were just decision fatigue, emotional overload.
Yeah.
So, not to say that we are out of that.
No.
Means.
We have 2 healthy embryos. We are, so I guess that's the next place we'll move. So what are we doing now? How are we moving forward? Mm-hmm. So we have 2 genetically sound embryos, and right now, all we have to do, or what will happen next is we will decide when we want to get pregnant. We will find a surrogate. We'll get matched with our surrogate. That's a whole nother process. So we'll get matched with our surrogate. Then they will do the transfer. That is when they transfer the embryo into the surrogate, and hopefully it takes, and hopefully she has a great pregnancy, and hopefully we end up with a healthy little boy or little girl. That's where we're at. So right now, due to what we'll discuss later in the video, we're not ready to bring a child into this world right this moment. We've had a lot of internal changes going on, but our plan right now, subject to change, is to get pregnant around this time next year. Maybe. So that's where we're at as far as IVF goes.
But all that to say, we still have a lot of decisions to make on our end in terms of, do we spend the money and try and do another egg retrieval
Before we even get pregnant.
to make sure that we have enough attempts? I just think we're in a better place now to even talk about those things and
Yeah.
even think about them. So a lot of decisions still to be made, but we're working on it.
But we will be dads, one way or another, eventually.
You're already a daddy.
You're older than me.
And?
But what else has been going on? It's been 8 months since we saw you last. It's not that we just decided, oh, we're sad about the IVF process, we're not gonna make any more content. We've been active on TikTok, on Instagram, we've been still sharing a lot of our lives. But the reason that we've taken a back seat or YouTube has taken a back seat, was because we posted that video sometime in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also in September, Jeff had a pretty massive life change. Both of us, but fill them in.
Yeah, so in September, I started a new job, and it's been great. It's in the fintech space. I love the people I work with. I love the job. But Taylor and I have been together 24/7
Literally.
since COVID. So March
14th.
which was 3 months after we got engaged,
Yeah.
to give you a timeline reference of how long we have been together 24/7 every single day.
It was 24/7 for 3.5 years straight.
And then, after COVID, my previous job, it was fully remote in the post-COVID era. So we were just together all the time, which was great. And we really got used to that lifestyle of being able to be around each other and make content and film content whenever we wanted,
Right.
essentially. This job, I am going to the office 3 or 4 days a week. So it has just been an adjustment. It was a big adjustment for both of us of just being apart and separate and, figuring out where filming videos like this comes into play when, I come home from work and we just want to hang out and watch TV together and
Cook dinner.
be stupid and silly.
Yeah.
But I think we've adjusted now and we've gotten used to, this era of...
Yeah. I will say props to Jeff.
Thank
He's
you. Thank
doing
you.
so well at his job. But in tandem with that, it's hard to go from being with someone all the time in your whole life and brand and personality, especially on the internet, is us. To go from that to seeing each other before work to walk the dog and after work for dinner and to hang or do whatever. So that was tough. And I honestly had a pretty hard time with that because I was doing Instagram, YouTube before I met Jeff, but not at the level that we were able to do together, especially over COVID. The live streams, the cooking shows, the house updates, we were together all the time. And I love that. We both love that. It's we're so lucky that we would probably choose to spend every moment with each other if we could. We're very lucky for that. But when that change happened, I was very confused. I didn't know where I existed outside of us, to be honest. I didn't feel comfortable making content by myself because we're a team. It's us. And so I just felt lost a little bit, to be honest. And it was a hard thing for me to work through. I'm still trying to figure out where I work in this on my own. And
side note, I started my new job the same week that we found out that we only had 2 embryos.
yeah.
I will never forget. I was literally onboarding, like starting this new venture and trying to hold it together.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
So that's sort of why it's been a little MIA, for being honest. We're just dealing with real human stuff. And we love sharing our lives. We love doing this, but sometimes it is not my number one priority to like get on here and be like, I'm sad that, like, I'm sure like people would relate to that. It would be great, but like I was sad and I was having a hard time dealing with it on top of not being around each other all the time and just feeling like, what do we do now? Where do we go from here? So that was that. Then at that same time, I launched my clothing brand Goodpark originally in summer of 2022. Great success. Can't thank you guys enough for all your support, always. But that was 2022. Unfortunately, at the end of 2022, I had problems with my manufacturer at the time and had to part ways with them. So I spent all of 2023 sourcing fabrics, sourcing manufacturers, creating new products, like fully new custom products.
Which he's done an amazing job being a one-man show, doing all of those things, and you know, like you said, everything is a custom product, and there's so many decisions that go into that.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job.
Thanks. So I luckily found an amazing manufacturer, and I've been working with them. I did a full rebrand. I really tried to solidify Goodpark as my new thing. Since Jeff was gone, I could really lean into this thing that I was really passionate about and really wanted to work on. And so that's what I did. And yes, I could have filmed all of that, but I wanted to be, this is a very new world for me, and I wanted to be as present. I wanted to be as present and like a sponge to everything that I was going through and experiencing with how the whole manufacturing process works, how choosing cornstarch mailer bags over plastic bags, and all the little details that I could put into these products. And so I spent the better half of 2023 doing that, and then I relaunched it in February of this year. Also great success, thank you again. And it's just been something fun that I've been working on the side, and that's what I needed. I needed like a full-time job, although this is still a full-time job. I wanted something that I felt like I could work on every day.
Yeah.
And so I do all of the packaging myself. I do all the fulfillment myself. I take each package to UPS and drop it off. I do all of the Shopify myself. I do it all myself, and it's great, but it's hard to do that and remember to set the camera up over here to get this angle and set the camera up over here, because then I'm gonna miss stuff. I'm not the most organized person, and I forget a lot of stuff. So I try to really focus on one thing at a time. So that's where that is. But Goodpark is thriving. It's going super well.
And just wait till the summer collection.
Yeah, I'm working currently on the summer collection, maybe a secret pride collection of some of your favorites, which may be making a return.
Oh.
And yeah, that's really what we've been up to for the better part of the last 8 months.
That was a lot.
It was a lot. Anything else? What did we miss? We took notes, but
Parker's good.
She's
been asking me to pet her this whole video.
Classic.
House is good.
House is good. We're ready to get back out there for the summer.
I'm excited to get back to the garden and hang on the deck.
Yep. Pool content.
Cook more.
Cooking content. Garden content. Live our suburban life.
Yeah.
In the summer.
So I guess the TLDR is just
30 minutes later.
Right. There's just been
Stuff. Life, man.
Life stuff that, you know, sometimes you can't plan for, and that's okay. And, you know, you figure out how to roll with it.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of navigating emotions, navigating decisions, navigating this like sort of new-ish life that we have. So that is what you missed.
That's what you missed, Don.
All right, guys. Hope that wasn't too long, but we have been gone for a while. So thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for bearing with us, and more content to come.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted as much as we can. Make sure you keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok. We're more active on there usually, but we're hoping to be back here more often.
Yes.
So, with that being said, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave us a comment, tell us what you missed the most, and make sure you shop Goodpark.
Yeah.
Summer collection coming soon, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye, guys.